Hi everyone, welcome. Today we are talking all about the new CrystaLac Top Coat Grand Finale. If your first time here, we go live every single Monday. We do all things tumblers and crafty, and I'm super excited to see everybody here. Good. I see Selene's here, and Lindsay is here, and April, Rachel, hi Kim, the whole Houlihan family is watching. Deborah got her grand finale last week. Loves it. Looking for some direction. That's super exciting. I am hoping this is working because my phone is being kind of weird. So let me know in the chat if you can see me and if you can hear me. For some reason, I like to open it on my phone so I can make sure that I can hear myself. But for some reason, it's not happening. You know. It's delayed on my phone for some reason. Okay. Hi, Judy. Lori wants to know, will you be able to tell us if we can use Bright Tone and this together? Absolutely. I'm going to talk about how I plan to transition between the two. Today, I'm going to talk all about... okay, it looks like everybody can see and hear me. Okay, great. The grand finale. So first things first, grand finale is a new top coat from the CrystaLac Company. Let me know in the chat if you already use Bright Tone. Let me know if you already use Bright Tone and you're looking to switch. Let me know first, or you can also let me know if you're brand new. If you're brand new and you haven't used anything. Okay, I'm so glad you guys can see me. Hi, Kelsey. Shannon's is coming tomorrow. And hi, Yasmin. Hi, Bonnie. I just got my grand finale today. And we'll be trying while I watch. That is so exciting. So, this is just a new top coat made by the CrystaLac Company called Grand Finale. And I am going to be using Grand Finale, but I have a lot of Bright Tone. I just have a lot from all of the times, there's been sales and everything. I buy it in bulk. So, I have a lot of that. So, I'm going to talk about how to use Grand Finale, and then I will talk about my plan to use up, I've got 2 gallons of Bright Tone, so it's going to take me a little while to transition. So it looks like a lot of people use Bright Tone already. A couple people are brand new. Yes, a lot of people have just recently bought some Bright Tone, so you have it. New to Tumblers. Okay, great. Okay, so the good thing, what I like about Grand Finale, it is, in a sense, it's very similar to Bright Tone. If you can make tumblers with Bright Tone, you can make them with Grand Finale. The process isn't much different. The good news about Grand Finale is that, one, it is a 2-hour dry time, so you can recoat every 2 hours. It gets harder faster. So I always recommend with Bright Tone to wait overnight before you sand. You really can sand at a 3-4 hour mark with the Grand Finale. So that's cool. And it does have higher solids, so it'll dry a little bit thicker than Bright Tone. I mean, it's not super thick by any means, but it is a little bit thicker. So if you were to compare a glitter tumbler with Bright Tone and a glitter tumbler with Grand Finale, it will take you some less coats with the Grand Finale, which is super exciting. So, just you can use this to apply your glitter, or you can use it to do your layers. You can still use glitter glue. If you're a glitter glue person to apply your glitter, use that. I'm more of a Grand Finale Bright Tone person to apply, but so you can apply your glitter with either. You're still gonna seal your glitter with glitter glue, and then you're gonna do all of your coats with the Grand Finale. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is applying glitter. You can totally apply your glitter using the Grand Finale. I am going to use a brush. You can use your hand. I'm going to show you how to apply. I'm going to do a couple tumblers. I've got this neon one as well that I will do. I'm going to do just a solid color on here. I'm going to do multicolor on here, and then we'll talk about how to apply our coats. I've got lots of tumblers ready for another coat. So we're going to kind of go through all of that. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I will pause every few minutes to read them. My experience is you can sand sooner as well. So I did 5 coats of Grand Finale. This is a chunky glitter. I applied with Bright Tone and I sealed twice with the glitter glue, which is like my normal process. And then I sanded after 5 coats.
Here's what I found.
Oh, I sanded after 5 coats of the Grand Finale, and it's like almost fully smooth. I did like barely kind of nick some glitter on that 5th coat, so I might go like 6 next time, but it's like barely noticeable. And it feels really smooth. So I'm super excited about that. This cup I sanded after 3 coats. This fine glitter I sanded after 3 coats of my Grand Finale. And then I did 3 more. I just did a second sand, I think, on this one. And it's ready for a decal, but I'm probably just going to use it to show you how to apply because I have it here. This glitter tumbler is completely smooth after 6 coats of Grand Finale. I sanded after 3. I did like 3 more coats, and it's completely smooth. I could put a water slide on this. So it is going faster for sure. You will spend less money on your tumblers. You'll get them done faster because you can recoat every 2 hours. And I really, really like it. I still will be using a lot of Bright Tone, and we can get into that later because I have so much of it. So I'm going to apply with my Grand Finale. You want to make sure that you stir it up. You don't need to like shake it like a lot, but you want to stir it up, make sure it's fully combined. You can use your hand. You can use a brush. I'm going to use a brush mostly because I can't get up to wash my hand right now. And I like to use a brush while applying. I'm going to put on this I'm going to use this opal glass, which is like it's not chunky, but it's like a medium glitter mix, kind of. So it's not like a super chunky, but it's definitely not a super fine. It's got some medium chunky pieces. So the first thing, I like to hold my tumbler. You can do this on the cup turner, whatever makes you happy. But I want to get it fully covered. Before I add any glitter. Okay, so it goes on really nicely. It has a little bit of a thicker viscosity, or it's not super runny. It's a little bit thicker than the Bright Tone. But if you like using Bright Tone to apply your glitter, which is what I've been doing for, I don't know, 3 years, it's okay if you want to keep doing that. And then I'm going to get the bottom. As far as cure time, it hardens faster than Bright Tone. So you can ship it out after about 3 days, and then it could continue to harden up about 2 to 3 weeks. It could be done before that. It could be done less than that. It really depends on your climate and how many coats you use and how thick they are, but it should be full cure in 2 to 3 weeks. You can absolutely start using it after a couple of days. Oops. I'm getting glitter everywhere. Okay, so you can just easily apply it to the Grand Finale. Get really good coverage. This is over Universal Gray. I used a Universal Gray base. It looks like I have perfect coverage. And because this is like a medium glitter, it's not fine, it's not chunky, it's like a medium. I'm going to tap it down as if it were chunky. Hey, Robbie. Hi, Kathy. Let me see. Jessica says she has 4 coats on a few cups, sanded, and I'm ready for a decal. Yeah, like, seriously, you can sand sooner. Now, as always, recommend testing it. You know what I mean? Like, it is new. Like, if you're familiar with making tumblers, it is a little bit different than Bright Tone, and it behaves a little bit different than Bright Tone, but, like, you have the basics down. Like, you know what you need. So it's going to be pretty much the same. You can sand sooner, that's for sure. I sanded my fine glitter after 3 coats, and then, like, yeah, it's, like, totally ready. So this is super pretty. Obsessed with this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but that is, like, a medium chunky with Grand Finale, and it went on, like, perfectly. So I'm going to put that on my turner. It'll dry for 2 hours. And then I can seal it with my glitter glue, which is the same process as before. So it will, oh geez. And then it will only take a couple more coats of Grand Finale, like 3 or 4, max 5, to get a fully smooth surface. So that's how you apply with Grand Finale. While I'm holding it, I'm going to show you. Let's do another one because I have this really fun neon that I want to add glitter to, and I figure why not do that together. I'm going to do this one on my turner. I'm going to do like a 4-color ombre situation with my neons from Glitzy Kreations. We've got Mellow Yellow, Limeade, Tango, and Bubblicious. And I'm going to do my Grand Finale with a brush. You can use your hand if you prefer. But since I'm sitting here, I don't want to get my hands dirty because I can't get up and go wash them. So I'm going to use my brush. Don't be afraid to put it on a little bit thicker when you do this. It does dry quickly. So if you're going to do something like a multicolor ombre, you want to probably put on a little bit thicker. So if you do go a little thicker, you may want to extend your dry time, you know, from 2 hours to 3 or 4. It really just depends. You'll have to kind of see what things are like with your climate and how much you actually use. But you want to make sure you put enough on here so it doesn't start to dry too quickly. And because it's a little bit thicker than the Bright Tone, it works really well. I mean, I say that like I've only had it for a little bit of time. So I'm still practicing, I'm still working, I'm still learning with it. But overall, it works really well. So I am going to start on the bottom. These are the neon Flippin' Awesome paints that just came out. I'm going to ombre this by like pulling my hand away. So I'm going to get full coverage around the bottom. And then I'm going to lift up my glitter to sort of fade it into the orange. See? But yeah, these 4 are the Neon Flippin' Awesome paints. Highly recommend. Normally I would like not mix my glitter, but since I'm live, I don't want to clean all of these up. I'm just gonna go for it. And I'm going to ombre them just here by going a little heavier in the middle, like closer to my cup. And I'm going to pull my hand away as they mix. And then if I need a second coat, I can do that later. I am a little bit better while like holding this, but I just want to show you guys your options. I like to show you guys your options, okay? So close if you want good full coverage. Move your hand further away if you want to fade it a little bit more. These neons, they blend nicely because they just go well together, especially like the orange, the pink, and the yellow. Like, they blend easily because they're like meant to go together. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to blend like a teal and a blue, they blend a lot easier than like a black and a white. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'm going to finish putting the glitter on here, and then I will read through the chat. But the coverage is awesome. Let me zoom in too. Let me get you guys a closer look here. You can see it's got really, really nice coverage. These are neons from Glitzy Kreations. I've got links and discount codes under the video. Whoops. So if you want to do some glitter shopping, you could also do like a cheat glitter. You could definitely do a cheat glitter here if you wanted to just do one solid color over the paint. I'm going to take this off, and I'm just going to do this a little bit more green here, tilting my cup. I'm going to do it both directions just to get it to fade a little bit better. So the coverage is actually really, really good. I don't know that I would need a second coat. I just kind of have to decide if I like the way that they are fading into each other. But because it's a little bit thicker, it works really well for multicolor ombres. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Let me see. Oh, bride-to-be for the original one. Yes, definitely get the universal gray. Highly recommend. Can you apply it over sublimation? Sure, but you need to prep your sublimation tumblers. So you can either do that by sanding. That will compromise the image. Or you can use the like shellac spray. Or I've even used clear spray paint. So you can do that to prep if you want. But you don't need to add anything over a sublimation tumbler. That just adds an extra step to the process. Should the coats still be super thin? Yes, they should be thin. I will talk a little bit more about that here in a minute, how to kind of gauge what you need to do. Sometimes I get streaks with the bright tone. Is there any recommendations? You could either get streaks if you are just like overworking it. So if you are like brushing it and brushing it and brushing it and brushing it, it's going to be streaky because it'll start to dry. If your area is super dry, like my room has 47% humidity, or 49, which is pretty good. If you're at like really, really dry, like 20%, you might want to run a humidifier. Okay. What else did I miss? Grand finale's waiting in my mailbox. If you want to finish tumblers that already have bright tone on it, absolutely. That's what I did with this one. I had it with bright tone, and now it has grand finale on it. So you can totally do that. The 4 glitters, I think those really would be a nice glitter jump. I'm going to save them for sure. Loving the neons, love the neons. I know, me too. These glitters are awesome. Mellow Yellow, Bubblicious, Limeade, and Tango. And they went over the CrystaLac new neon flippin' awesome paints that I just ombre together. And Kelsey, I'm so glad you're super into colors now. You can have this neon one. But you have to use it every day at work. Okay, let me see. Hi, Sue. I'm so glad you got everything. and tumbler turner. I have these actually for sale on my website. I got a bunch from my supplier, so if you're interested in a cup turner, they're on sale because I'm trying to get rid of them. So you can head to my website and check those out. Okay, so that's how you apply glitter. Again, let it dry for 2 hours. I'm going to dry brush it. I'm going to see if I need a second coat. Not sure. And then if I do a second coat, I will do it with glitter glue. And I will seal it with glitter glue before I move on to my coats of Bright Tone. My coats of Grand Finale. I'm going to have to like retrain my brain because I've been saying doing coats of Bright Tone for like 3 years every video. So I'm going to have to retrain my brain. So I'm going to seal it and I'm going to flatten it with glitter glue. And then I'm going to go in with my coats of Grand Finale. Okay? Any questions on the glitter application process? It's really the same. If you still like using glitter glue, you can use that too. It's like totally up to you. I really like using the Grand Finale to apply glitter, so I'm going to probably do that more, but I do like glitter glue as well. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. I really like how that one's turning out. I just kind of did the neons like randomly to test out, you know, like the new neon paints. And then I was like, I think that would be great to put glitter over. Because why not? So I'm going to save these. Looks pretty cool all together. We'll see. See. Could be fun, could be fun, could be fun. Okay, put that out of the way. All right, do we feel good about glitter application? I think that's all I'm going to do in terms of applying glitter on this particular stream. My videos, not all of them, but a lot of them, I still have some like from the archives that I haven't published yet that use Bright Tone, but I will be transitioning, you know, to using Grand Finale. So you'll have plenty of time with me to learn what that is. You know, like how to apply and stuff. So I'm going to try to clean off my hands here because I'm going to put these on glitter cups and I don't want to contaminate them. So let me try to clean my hands. Okay. So I've got like 4 cups here that need another coat of Grand Finale. Well, 3 need them. This one doesn't need it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So this is my chunky glitter. I sanded once and I did like 1 more coat of Grand Finale and it's like feels like very smooth. It needs a little bit more like to be considered done, but it's very, very close to decal ready. Just a reminder with chunky glitter, it's just important that you get it flat way from the beginning. That's going to be, you know, what matters. And I always seal and flatten with the glitter glue and do all of that. So you can apply your Grand Finale with your hand or with a brush. You can decide what works for you. If you don't like things on your hand, you know, then maybe that's not for you. What I have found is it depends on what layer you're on. Okay, so like if you just put down your glitter, you just sealed it, and you're doing your very first coat of Grand Finale, you're going to use more for that first coat than you are like once it gets smooth. So I don't love to like measure. I just say like use enough to get it covered. You're going to use about like, on like a smoother cup, you're going to use about 4 milliliters if you want to measure it out. It really depends on the size of the cup, the smoothness of the cup. There's like a lot of factors that go into, you know, how much you're going to use. But like on this tumbler, that's basically smooth. I'm going to use about 4 milliliters to cover this entire cup. And it goes on a little bit thicker. So you can kind of like take your whole hand and cover like half your tumbler with like 1 squirt, okay? This is what the other, like, the moderators and admin of the CrystaLac Facebook group, we kind of decided that doing like 2 squirts really is good. And it'll look a little bit, it has like a little bit of a milky color, so you can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can kind of see like the lines in it. That's okay. It will dry clear. It will self-level and it will dry clear. So it's super fast. I think it's faster to apply the Grand Finale than it is the Bright Tone, just because it's so easy to spread. It, like, I can't describe it. It's just different. So you want to do the exact same thing. Take like 2 seconds to apply it and then let it dry for 2 hours and you can recoat it. So you can speed up your process. If you wait longer than 2 hours, that's fine too. I know a lot of people work all day, so you don't have to apply it every 2 hours. But if you can get a little bit more done in a day, or in a day you have off, or in an evening, or on the weekend. So if you're using too much, you can measure it, but you just want to use just enough to cover your tumbler. And it's going to have a little bit of a milky color, but it will dry crystal clear. This glitter is called Green with Envy, and this is from Glitzy Kreations as well. I kind of want to make like 10 tumblers with this because I want to do like a Halloween one. I want to do a Christmas one. I want to do like maybe like a Slytherin one. Like I have all these ideas for this one glitter and I'm super excited about it. I've had it for a long time, but I just used it. This is over a black base. So yeah. Again, you can let this spin for about an hour and then just whenever it's dry to the touch, you can take it off and move it to a drying rack or recoat it at that 2 hour mark. I'm going to move it to a different turner so it can spin over there. Okay. You do need to sand every couple of layers. So I did my first sand for my fine glitters. I did my first sand at about 3 coats. And then like with 1 or 2 more coats, it's like completely ready for decals. I would say, you know, obviously you have to decide and it depends on your tumbler and kind of where you're at. But yeah, you're going to sand every couple of coats. Sue, you need an Alison original. Oh my gosh, take your pick. I'll send you whatever you want. So yeah, Sarah, you do want to sand, but not every coat, just like every couple of coats until you're done. You won't have to do as many sandings with the Grand Finale because it gets smoother faster. So that's great. You don't have to let it spin for 2 full hours. You certainly can, but it really will be dry to the touch in about an hour, maybe less, depending on your climate. But about an hour, it'll be ready to move off the turner if you need to free up your space. Okay? So you can also use a brush, whatever you want to do. With the brush, I kind of use like smaller squirts. That's my very scientific measurement of a 1 squirt on my tumbler. But I think that's better and easier because I don't want you to get too caught up in the numbers. But you can see I had just sanded it, so it was very dull. But now it's nice and shiny. Ooh, that doesn't sound great. All right, like that just took like 2 seconds. I feel like that's faster to apply than Bright Tone ever was for me. I don't know, maybe you guys can, maybe you guys can put in your thoughts, but I feel like I can just coat a tumbler like so much faster. Sorry guys, my turner over here is making a lot of squeaky noises. I'm gonna clean it real fast. What comes with your turner? It's the turner, you get 2 arms, a stand to hold it with, and 2 foam inserts. That's all on my website. It's right on the listing. Okay, so 2 hours, then you can recoat. This one, I'm going to put I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm making this for somebody. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'm going to put on a few more coats and call it a day. Probably. maybe a decal. I don't know what. Sorry, guys. I got to swap off my turners. And then I want to talk about... Oh, this one's it's not doing great. I'm going to let this spin for a couple minutes. And then I'm going to move that one because it's struggling. And my foam is too far in there for my other turner. It does feel, it's like a, I don't know. It's a different, it feels so different. Okay. So if you are, let me know in the chat if you're in the I want to use Bright Tone and Grand Finale team, like me. I want to use it my Bright Tone, and I want to use Grand Finale. I'm going to kind of use a combo. Let me know. Oh, same type of shine? Absolutely, if not shinier. If not shinier, you guys can be the judge. This one's not great. It needs a couple more coats, but this one is pretty darn shiny. So let me know in the chat if you're trying to use a combo of both Bright Tone and Grand Finale. Moving forward, you can absolutely just use Grand Finale. If you've never made a tumbler before, if you're brand new to using CrystaLac for your tumblers, if you don't have a lot of Bright Tone, I would just stick with Grand Finale. You're going to spend less money per tumbler. You can get your cups done faster. And it's super easy to apply. Like, it's kind of like a win-win-win situation if you're just going to use Grand Finale. However, if you want to use both, I'm going to use both because I have like 2 gallons of Bright Tone hanging out, and I don't want it to go to waste. You should know that you can use Bright Tone on other things. Like, I made this desk. This desk right here is covered in Bright Tone. I mean, it's all dirty now, but I use Bright Tone for the desk. If you do any woodworking or signs, you can totally use Bright Tone on other things besides tumblers, furniture, everything like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Grand Finale and my glitter glue first. So I'm going to use I'm going to apply with my glitter glue, seal with my glitter glue, and I'm going to do a few coats of Grand Finale. And then I'm going to get it smooth because it'll get your glitter covered faster and it will speed up a little bit of time. However, it's okay. Oh, so annoying. Sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear how terrible that sounds, but it's not sounding great. I'm going to use the Grand Finale first, and then I'm going to use my Bright Tone to finish up the tumbler. So once I have my vinyl on there, I'm just going to use my final few coats with my Bright Tone. So I'm going to probably use half and half. If it's a cup that I don't need to get done super quickly, I'm okay to use my Bright Tone. I'm gone at work all day, so the 2 hours is awesome. But if I'm not even going to be home, so I can do Bright Tone in the morning and then Bright Tone when I get home. Or honestly, you could switch off. You could do Bright Tone in the morning. You could do Grand Finale when you get home, so you could do 2 coats or 3 coats or whatever. And then you could do Bright Tone before bed. So you can totally mix and match. Just make sure that your Grand Finale dries for 2 hours and your Bright Tone dries for 4. So my plan is to use it for the glittering process up until I'm ready to decal, and then I'll probably switch to my Bright Tone. I don't know if that's the fastest way to use it, but that's just kind of what I plan to do. And I use my Bright Tone on a lot of other projects. I do woodworking projects. I make signs, sometimes not really, but I do furniture and random desks and things around my house. So I will be using Bright Tone on all of that as well. And as long as you're in an airtight container, your Bright Tone will last for 5 years. So it's not you can decide. You can decide what you guys want to do. You know what I mean? It's totally up to you. All right, so do you guys have questions about using both? That's just sort of my plan. You might want to do something a little bit different, but that is my plan. for using up some of my Bright Tone. Yeah, I think the time frame is a big factor. If like you need to get something quickly done, you might want to use your grand finale. But if you're like, you know what, I'm not in a huge rush, or you know that you're going to go to work, or you're just not in a huge rush, like in the 4-hour dry time isn't like a big deal for you, then you might use your Bright Tone in those situations. You can decide. So yeah, I'm probably going to do like the first half of the tumbler with my grand finale and the second half with my Bright Tone until I use up most of my Bright Tone. Then I'm just going to be 100% grand finale. If you want to drop inks, could you use Bright Tone? You can use Bright Tone or grand finale. It's totally up to you. Bethany wants to know if it would be okay to use it with alcohol inks. Check out my channel. I have a few videos using alcohol inks. You can't mix them in with your top coat, but you can use them, seal them, and then put your top coat on top. If you use a combo of both grand finale and Bright Tone, will it take longer for a finished cup to cure than if you only use grand finale? Yes, Bright Tone takes a little bit longer to fully harden, but at the same time, like, you should be fine. I use all of my cups after a couple of days, and I wait like 3 to 5 days to ship them out, and then I tell people they can use them, and I haven't had any issues, but I would test it and see how it works for you. So this tumbler is smooth. It's not fully smooth over the vinyl yet. I maybe have 1 coat of grand finale on here. I'm not 100% sure. Again, you can use your hand, or you can use a brush. And for a smooth tumbler, you're probably going to use about 4 milliliters. But again, you're just going to want to spread it all the way around. And we have been finding that just like 2 lines down the tumbler works really well to just get it completely covered. You don't want to use a whole lot. You don't need a whole lot. You don't want it to be like dripping off. Oh, that's what I wanted to show you. You just want to get enough on there to spread it all around and call it a day. And let it do its thing to dry. It should be fully hard in like 2 to 3 weeks. But again, a lot of that depends on how many coats you use. So if you only put 3 coats on a tumbler, it's going to take less time than if you have like a lot going on your cup. 22 cups for a wedding party. But you're already getting started. I think that's great to use Bright Tone because you have it and you have the time. This is vinyl. I'll be putting a tutorial for this whole tumbler soon. But that's vinyl from, I can't remember where it's from. North 80. It's from North 80. So I think it's faster to apply. Like, it takes me like 10 seconds, which is pretty cool. And then the other thing you could do if you're having trouble like figuring out how much to use. When I first got it, I was kind of using too much because it's easy to use too much. I don't know if you guys were here last week, you heard me say that just like the texture of it, the way it works, like it's easy to like put too much on. And my analogy that I used last week was like, there are cars that you drive that are easier for you to speed in. You know what I mean? Like when I drive my husband's car and I'm on the highway, I'm like, wowza, I am going way too fast without really realizing it. You know, for whatever reason, I don't know why that is. So I feel like grand finale is kind of like that because I don't know why. It just like feels good to like just put it on there and move it around. It's just got like a smooth feel. You can take your tumbler off the turner and do it this way. It might be easier for you because you want to make sure that it's not like dripping off. If it's dripping off, you're using too much. You just don't need that much. So you can do it while you're holding it to kind of see what amount works for you. And then you can either put it on your turner or you can let it hang dry depending on what you want to do. But something that I started doing was just, I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to get this all covered so I can kind of get a feel for how much I need, which is what I recommend. I recommend, getting some practice cups out, or just some cups that you're like not in a huge rush to finish, to practice and learn, because while it is extremely similar, it is different. But I really like it. It's super easy to apply. The 2-hour dry time is really great. And I am getting my cups done faster. So it'll take less coats to finish an entire cup. You could sand a little bit faster. You can add your decals faster. Not just like number of coats, but also time-wise, because you can recoat every 2 hours. Okay, do you guys have any questions that I haven't answered yet? We went through, and if you got here late, you can catch the replay. We went through how to apply glitter with Grand Finale. We talked about adding coats of Grand Finale. We talked about sanding, and we talked about how I'm going to use a combo of Grand Finale and Bright Tone. That's everything we talked about. So are there any other questions? I'm going to add this to my other turner over here while you guys put anything you need in the chat. See, this is why I don't like to use my hand, because now I just have to sit here with a dirty hand because I didn't get any wipes. Come over here. Which I guess is my own fault. Okay. Can I just use it as a final coat? Is it more durable than Bright Tone? It has higher solids, but it's very similar. You can use it for the whole cup. You can use it for the end. You can use it for whatever portions of the tumbler that you want. My Grand Finale is coming out smoky. I mean, do you mean like white? Like milky? Because if it's coming out milky, let it dry. If it's not drying, then you're using way too much. I'm still in my first tumbler. I've made so many mistakes, and I've been trying to correct them as I go. How long should a tumbler take? I'm going on 2 weeks. I don't know what your name is, but it's very normal to learn through practice, okay? I've been making tumblers for 3 years, and I still make mistakes. You learn with every single tumbler. So your first tumbler might take you a month. Maybe it's something will click and it'll go, but you learn with every single one. Like, now you should know, like, you know what, I'm not going to do that again because I made that mistake already. So just keep going. The more tumblers you make, the more you try it, the better you will get. It just takes time. Can you use extreme protection with Grand Finale? Yeah, all CrystaLac products can be used together. Can I use universal white and universal black to make universal gray? Yes. Yeah. You probably would only need a very little bit of universal black or black pigment in your universal white to make a gray color. But yeah, you could totally whip up your own version of a gray paint. Like foggy after the 2 hours. Sarah, then let it dry longer and try using less. Are you making the same switch for blanks? Yes, I think so. I actually haven't really tried it on acrylics yet, but I have to actually make some like yesterday. So I'm going to get started on those today, and I will let you know. But I think, and it might be kind of the same thing where I do the first few coats with my Grand Finale and then switch to Bright Tone. I've been nervous to try Bright Tone because I see so many people with water damage. Will Grand Finale be as sensitive? All I can say is my personal experience is that if there's damage to a tumbler, it's because somebody is doing something they're not supposed to do, like putting it in the dishwasher. No top coat is really able to withstand the heat of a dishwasher. Whether that's epoxy or anything CrystaLac related. My mother-in-law put her tumbler in the dishwasher, my CrystaLac tumbler in the dishwasher, and she still uses it. Sometimes they explode because they're all different temperatures. But they're tested. I've soaked mine in water. I left one out in the rain. So like I put some Grand Finale on this one the other day, and then I left it out in the rain, and then like for hours, and then I brought it in and it was totally fine. Orange peel, I keep getting it. I've measured and everything. Temps and humidity are good, still happening. Rachel, let's talk about how much you're using, and maybe you can message me on Instagram and show me some pictures and I can help you through that. If you start a tumbler with Bright Tone and finish it with Grand Finale, do you have to wait the 5 days before sending it out? I think it depends on how many coats you do with your Bright Tone and how long it was in between. I think it's always safe to just wait 5 days before you use the tumbler, and it's just better to err on the side of caution, and that's just my personal opinion, but you can test it and see. The turner is not 3/4. It's like a not standard size. It's like a 20 millimeters. Okay, are there any other questions? I'm really loving the neon. What do you guys think? I like it. Over the neon, flippin' awesome with some neon glitter applied with the Grand Finale. Yeah. I have small cracks after a few months. I could probably help you if I knew more about what you use, but Sandy, yes, you can sand. Just do a light sand and then recoat your tumbler. Okay, so that's Grand Finale. There's a link underneath this video to get it. I love it. It's going really, really well. But it's different. It's different than using Bright Tone. You will get your tumblers done faster for less money. And they're just like overall really great. Check out the replay if you want to see more about how to apply glitter, more about how I apply the Grand Finale. And I did also talk about how I'm going to be using both Grand Finale and Bright Tone because I have a lot of Bright Tone. So I'm going to be using a little bit of both. And then I will be fully transitioning to the Grand Finale, however long that it takes. So make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. I don't know what we're going to do next week yet, but I have like a really fun like acrylic tray that I kind of want to try, or like a cutting board, like a charcuterie board that we could do, or we could of course do more tumblers. So I will make sure you follow me on Instagram, and we will be back next Monday at 7 o'clock. And if you have any questions or need any support with making tumblers or using Grand Finale, you can reach out to me personally, or you can join the CrystaLac Facebook group. Is really great. A lot of really amazing people have been posting so many good videos and tutorials in there. As mine are a little bit delayed with my full-time job, I haven't really gotten too many up on the channel, but thankfully there's a whole community of people who are here to help you guys learn, including me. So feel free to message me on Instagram. You can email me, but I'm not so great with email, so Instagram message is a little bit better for me. Fun and different. Can't wait. Yes, Kim. I hope Cassidy is doing well. I hope you enjoyed your Monday night evening. And thank you all for coming. I will see you all next week.